Hello everyone, it's September 1st, 2024, and this is my first monthly check-in since I started this channel just a couple weeks ago. November 13th was when I joined the gym. So we're coming up on almost a year, but I thought I'd start sharing the progress since it seems to be pretty effective. That said, this month was a doozy. Well, first off, I did manage to continue losing weight. I lost 3 pounds this month. I'm weighing in at 229.5. I was 232.6 last month. That may not seem much, but it's consistent, and the scales are accurate. I'm tracking my water and all that too. But it is a little disappointing because the previous month I only lost 3 pounds as well. And up until then, I was really throwing the weight off. It was more like a 6 to 8 pounds per month kind of rate. But a couple things changed. One, I went from 46% body fat to 36% of body fat. So morbidly obese to obese. Hey, it's progress. My goal, after all, for this is mental health, not just physical health. So the way we feel about our bodies and how I feel about my own changes is part of what I'll be discussing in this video. So yeah, I'm going to check in here with what my exercise program is and how it's changed, what my diet is and how it may be changing, and what the status of my mental health is, because that was the whole purpose of everything I've been doing here. So let's start with exercise. Like, what actual exercise am I doing? I start with a 1.5 mile ride to the gym. That's about 2.4 kilometers. You know, it's enough for a warm up. And of course, at the end of each session, I ride that 1.5 miles back home. Again, it's about 10 to 15 minutes. This can be a little bit more challenging on leg days and on hot days, but ultimately it is more of a warm-up and a cool-down session. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, I work out. And Sundays, I rest. Usually on my rest days, I mow the lawn or I do something that, keeps me active to some extent. But I think I'm going to start adding some bike rides in there so I can get more cardio. 20 minutes a day from my bike rides. So that's not bad. I mean, that's giving me 20 times 6? That's 120 minutes. And I think 150 minutes is what other people, so 2.5 hours is what I like to get. So another independent ride just on Sundays is probably a good idea. I have a 4-day split. It's chest, back, shoulders, legs, repeat. However, that split gets interrupted. So it's kind of a 2-week thing. It's chest, back, shoulders, legs, chest, back, rest, shoulders, legs, chest, back, shoulders, legs, rest, repeat. That's my workout. And on each one of those days, I perform 6 exercises. On my chest and triceps days, I usually do the pec deck flies, a bench press, either seated hammer strength or actual bench press, and then the incline hammer strength, a decline hammer strength, tricep cable extensions, and dips. I place the triceps and the dips last because I feel pretty good about my triceps. I'm not necessarily more eager to build them up, and so I put them last on the training list. For my back and buys, I start with ab raises. I use the Bosu ball supported ab raise, and then I do 3 sets of 15 of those. By the way, my other workouts usually start with 1 warm-up set and then 3 working sets. So with the back and buy day, then I'll switch to weight-assisted pull-ups. Because I can't really do very many pull-ups under my own strength right now, and I like to get my reps really high, so I definitely need weight assistance to do that. Then I'm now using standing reverse grip easy bar pulls, and I love these. I'm putting them a little bit higher in my earlier in my workout, followed by dumbbell curls, seated incline dumbbell curls, which I really, that stretch I have found is really, I'm liking that. That's a good workout. And I'm putting those like that middle of the workout there because biceps are something I would like to concentrate on. I follow those with lat pull downs, cable lat pull downs, a low row with the multi-purpose bar. Then on my shoulder days, I start with a machine overhead press with a wide grip. Then I do the same thing, but with a neutral grip. So I'm really hitting that overhead shoulder hard, and also a little bit of the upper pecs and tries, of course. Of course, if you're using too much of tries, you might be doing it wrong. Machine lat raises. Again, I'm using the machine there rather than the dumbbells so that I can get steady tension throughout the entire movement. Rear delt flies, I'm using cables as well for that so I can get steady tension throughout the entire movement. And machine front delt raises. However, I am going to switch to dumbbell raises for the front delt exercise, simply because the machine puts me in an awkward position. It's starting to hurt my lower back. And then shrugs. My last workout day is the legs. Start with those ab raises again. So I got abs on 2 different days. I'd like to start working them in more, but we'll see. Then I go to the leg press. Then hack squats and calf raises are new. Calf raises are what I'm going to be finishing with. Those 2 I only started doing recently. I was doing hip abductions and hip adductions, but I realized that's more like next level bodybuilder. I don't need to get that kind of detail. What I need to do is work on more bigger ideas. So hack squats, which is a great overall exercise that I should have been in there from the beginning, and the calf raises are what I'm putting in there. Leg curls, leg extensions. I'm not too concerned about the order in which I do my leg exercises. They're a new workout for me. So there you go. That's my split. Now, if I were to look at some of the notes that I've taken here, there are some other ideas related to the exercises that I think we should probably talk about here. I did my maxes earlier this month. I was able to press 225, which I was very proud of. But I wanted more, and I actually thought that I could get 250, and I think I was already worn out, and I tried for 275, and that really exhausted me, and then I went down to 255 and couldn't do that. So 225 is my official max, although I'm pretty sure I can press 255. I just didn't do it right. Anyways, doesn't matter. What I actually pressed was 225. That's impressive. I should be happy with that, especially since I've only been working out for like 10 months. That's not bad. I don't know what my max press was when I started, but I'm sure it wasn't 200 pounds. So I feel good about that now. It took me a little while though, because, I built up some other significance to it. And I have to remind myself that ultimately this is about my mental health and losing weight and feeling good about how my body looks. The actual number of pounds that I can press, that's great for tracking progress, but I probably need to get it out of my head that I need to hit 300 pounds or something like that. So I would love to hit 315, of course, one day, but I'm 48. I'm starting this a little bit late. That may never happen. Ultimately, that's a tertiary goal. And if I put any further significance into that could be bad for my psyche. Also, related to the next topic, which was I injured myself a couple times. I hurt my lower back doing toe touches, of all things. I overstretched because all this time I thought you were supposed to roll your lower back when you did toe touches. I thought that was what you were supposed to be doing, so I definitely overstretched that. And that's the second time I've hurt my back, and that was how I did it the first time too. It's the overstretching of all things. But then, of course, as soon as I had recovered from that, I come in, I start doing pec deck exercises, and I got a little sting there, and like an idiot, not recognizing that I'd probably hurt myself, I continued my workout, did all the rest of the week, and then finally at the end of the week realized I need to take some time off. And that kind of upset me. It got me a little bit hyper and anxious and depressed. I'll talk about that in part 3. So there you go. That's what my workout has been like. The changes that I'm planning to make, not much. I've already made them. I've swapped out some exercises. Like I said, I'm no longer going to be doing hip abductions, hip adductions. And the order is probably going to be the same. I may, if anything, start to slow down a tiny bit on, pushing myself every week to raise weight, and just pay attention to warming up more thoroughly over the next couple months so that I've been neglecting my warm-up sets. So I think rather than push for more performance, I need to concentrate even further on form and spend a little bit more time on that and a little bit more time on warm-up sets, even if that makes my overall exercise a little bit longer. And then I'll just reevaluate at that point what I really need to do. How about the diet? What's happening there? I've been keeping track of that pretty much down to the gram. I track pretty much everything I eat. Starting, let's say, just a typical week, last Sunday was a cheat day. I had 2 ounces of kielbasa, that's 10 grams of protein and 185 calories. Then I made myself an omelet that was 1 jumbo egg with a slice of American cheese and various peppers and stuff. That's 11 grams of protein, 155 calories. I made some protein pancakes, and I made a big batch of them with some non-sugar, non-fat syrup, and honestly it sucked, so I didn't eat very much of it. I was trying to experiment with something. It didn't turn out good, but what I did eat was about 15 grams of protein, 180 calories worth of stuff. Had a cup of coffee. That's an atypical breakfast. Then I ate some protein chips because I was driving somewhere and I wanted to have a little snack, and they were not bad, but a little pricey. So 19 grams of protein there, 130 calories, not bad at all. Been getting into low calorie or sugar free stuff, and I never used to before. I didn't like the taste, but some of these artificial sweeteners are actually not so bad anymore, and the science is pretty clear that the dosage I'm taking is not going to affect me in my lifetime or 10,000 of my lifetimes, so I feel pretty safe eating it. I had fried shrimp at a cookout with my brother. I had to do a lot of estimating. It was a cheat day, so that's okay. I estimated it was about 25 grams of protein, maybe 300 calories. I had a turkey burger with some cheese. Again, that's my estimation for all of that. Then I just had a turkey burger patty a little bit later because I was hungry. We had some cake and ice cream, and I had a little mini Coke, and I broke my rule. I usually only have 1 soda per day, but that day I had a little mini Coke because it was a little one because I was having cake and ice cream. It was a birthday party. And then later that night, I had a soda with a Reese's cup. I also made myself some air-fried chicken with some pizza and a little blue cheese. So yeah, about 3,000 calories that day. 196 grams of protein, though. Didn't work out. Next day is a more typical day, and I'm not going to walk through every single one of them, but this is a pretty typical day for me. 180 or 85 grams of ham. That's about 15 grams of protein, 110 calories. 1 jumbo egg with a slice of cheese and some random peppers and stuff. That's 155 calories, 11 grams. No calories, no protein in coffee unless I add it in, which I sometimes do. 60 calories. Power yogurt. That means I took 170 grams of yogurt and then I added about 17 grams of protein powder to make that 32 grams of protein, 155 calories. Salad has 2 slices of bacon, some vinaigrette, various peppers, romaine lettuce, onions, stuff like that. It comes to about 8 feta cheese, sometimes some croutons. I measure all of those out. It ends up being 18 grams of protein, about 300 calories. 154 grams of chicken, that's about right. 31 grams protein there, 151 calories. Buffalo sauce and blue cheese, 1 gram maybe protein, 50 calories. Have a cup of coffee. And then later in the day, I actually had a 3rd cup of coffee. Those were all 2 tablespoons. So if you're wondering about the caffeine, that's not why I talk so fast. I'm just hyper. No, that day, that would have amounted to about 325 grams or milligrams of milligrams of coffee. So, well under the 400. I usually have about 200 to 300 milligrams, 2 cups of coffee. Is what I normally have, one in the morning, one in the afternoon. That day I had 3. And the 3rd one, I mixed in 35 grams of protein powder so that it was artificially sweetened too. I don't really like that stuff, that version of it. But that came to 30 grams. So a nice little protein fix right before the gym, along with an apple for some substance. About an hour later, went to the gym. After the gym, I came home, had about 166 grams of pork. That's 51 grams of protein right there, 290 calories. I just baked it, so nothing special there. But I did slather on about 2 tablespoons of barbecue sauce. That's 50 calories, no protein there. An ear of corn is estimated about 3 grams protein, 90 calories. I took a potato and cut it into wedges. It was 7 ounces of potato. That gives you about 4 grams protein, 150 calories. I did spray it with some no-stick spray, which probably actually added, it's supposed to be 0 calorie, but we all know that's BS. That probably added about 15 more calories that I didn't track. Fair play. But I was being pretty liberal in my estimation of my cream cheese. My dragon sauce is my own special sour cream dip for potatoes, and it's not 100 calories. So we'll include the spray of that. I didn't eat that much of it. And then I love Jell-O. I had 2 servings of Jell-O, so it's 160 calories. That puts me under 2,200. I'm supposed to be under 2,400, so that's a good day. Just under 200 grams of protein. I'm trying to stay between 180 and 200, so that's a great day. And then you'll see it's pretty much the same after that. I'm staying under 2,400 and almost every day. I'm staying at about 180 to 200 calories or 200 grams of protein every day. And then that brings us to yesterday. Now, yesterday was going to lead me into the mental health part, because yesterday was a rough day. Past couple weeks have been kind of rough. I've been upset about not being able to work out. And honestly, even though yesterday wasn't a cheat day, I was on the road. I did a lot of traveling. I didn't, a lot of driving. I didn't get to do exactly the way I wanted to. And when I got home, I just wasn't feeling it. And I just felt like, you know what? I haven't had that many calories. I can probably eat something really unhealthy for dinner tonight, and screw it. I'm just gonna do it because I'm really feeling kind of the pain right now of this whole dieting thing. So yeah, I broke down. I had some Chinese, some Singapore rice noodles. Which, oh man, I love that stuff. But I ate like 2/3 of it, and you really don't. That's like 4 or 5 servings. So there's a lot of protein, but it's also a lot of calories. There was no need for me to have the wonton soup at all. I just wanted some wonton soup. These are estimations of calories based on the internet, and I used the more liberal sides of them because I felt like what I was getting was probably a heavier calorie. Some of these people were estimating this stuff as really lower, and I don't think so. This was definitely calorie dense. But other than that, I ate pretty good that day. I had 3 bomb pops. That might seem crazy. Ooh. That should actually say 120. It was 120 calories. So, given that it was not a cheat day, I went a little bit over the calories I should have for that day. I wanted to stay over, but you know what? It's okay. It's okay. And in fact, I'm going to start changing things so that now Saturday and Sunday are cheat days. This may seem ironic, but I'm a little worried that I might have gone too far. I've been dieting for 10 months. I had about a 10-day break a month and a half ago, and that was good. But I think you're supposed to take a break longer than that, and you're also supposed to take them more frequently. So what I'm going to do as a sort of compromise is for the next couple months, just stay on my diet, but stay under 24 or even 2,500 calories during the week. And I'm going to give myself 2 cheat days. Saturday and Sunday. And if my pace slows down to just 3 or 4 pounds a month, hey, that's not bad. That's okay. I can live with it. So the final topic here, my mental health. How's everything been going? It was a tough month. I had a week and a half worth of not training due to injuries. I'm set to go back in a couple days. Tomorrow's a holiday, and my chest is starting to feel better from having hurt it. That was depressing. I tested my maxes, and as I said earlier, that's I should be proud of that. But I knew I could do more, and I failed at it, and that felt bad. I know some of you. It's not a humble brag. I promise you, 225. I know that's a respectable bench press, especially for my age and how long I've been doing it. But I know I could have done more, and that bothered me. I've been grieving the loss of my cat for. That may seem like nothing to some people. Other people, you know what I'm going through. I cannot explain how profoundly this has affected me. It has been a very, very trying time for me. And his birthday was last week, so that was really tough too. And I know that combined with the stress of starting a new semester, I teach, and so everything's starting up there. My work is ramping up. My weight, my maxes weren't at my expectations. I injured myself twice in 2 weeks. I miss my little buddy. All of that combined to a sort of manic, anxious state, and it's not fun. But it was a lot more manageable and less bad than it's been in the past. I've had some angry outbursts. That's my chief problem. But the kind of angry outbursts I've had they've been controlled. I'm not exactly proud of everything I've done this month, but for the most part, it's definitely been an improvement. I can be upset about still being angry about things. Just this morning, I'm shouting at the PC because I couldn't figure out how to make this Photoshop thing happen, but I'm learning to calm down and not overreact. And learning somehow to just not snap immediately. And I don't know how to explain how that's happening other than I guess my body changing, self-esteem to some extent. But it's been a trying couple weeks. And I definitely got a little bit manic as the stress hit me. And probably tried the patience of some of my gym friends. I think they're too nice to tell me that, but that's fine. That's part of my journey too, is learning how to talk to people outside of people I already know, talk to strangers. What I also need to learn to do is how to stop talking to strangers. That's part of my fear that people don't understand. If you have anxiety with talking to people, maybe you get this. It's not even, part of the anxiety is not approaching them. It's knowing that once I start, I'm not going to know how to stop the conversation. I definitely had one of those moments the other day, and that's okay. I talked for way longer than I should have. Okay. All right. I'll do better next time. So, mental health, lots of setbacks. I'm still grieving pretty hard. I still have my little manic episodes. Definitely been very depressed. Suffered some demotivation because of the injuries and because of all the other triggers. My dad's a couple angry outbursts, but overall, to a far lesser degree than I have in the past. And overall, I've pretty much bouncing back. I'm ready to go back to the gym. I cleaned up a little bit in the other room. I've been finding my motivation to get my work done and keep putting one foot in the front of the other. So overall, kind of a win. I didn't expect to be giving that lesson just yesterday or the day before. I was kind of worried. I was like, man, I'm going to be making my first monthly update, and what I'm going to be telling them is, man, I feel like shit. I'm sad and lonely and depressed, and all right, maybe, but tomorrow's another day. Even today, I'll work through it. I'm okay. It's not the end of the world. I know that I'm talking more to myself than to anybody else, I suppose, because if you're on the receiving end of something like that, it's not helpful, right? You have to kind of see that for yourself. So to recap, 3 pounds this month, only 3 pounds the month before. Injuries, a lot of these things led to, certain minor breakdowns, but overall pretty manageable. Disappointed in how much weight I lost, but I lost weight. Disappointed in my bench press max, but it's 225. I mean, I'm kind of being a bit of a jerk here, right? 225 is good. I should be happy with that. And, I'm learning to accept these small victories. I think that the takeaway for many of you might be, if you're where I am, you're between your goal and where you were. And at this stage, you can only look at the before pictures so long before you go, okay, I'm happy with the progress that I've made, but I still see the man I want to be, and I'm not there yet. And so battling with that, living in that liminal space between where you've come from and where you're trying to go, it can be a little bit rough on the psyche. I know this is why it is important to have before pictures, so you can see where you've come from. But that high fades. Eventually, you start having to deal with, I still need to make steps forward, and they're not happening as fast because, it's getting more challenging now, right? All right, so that's where I'm at. Hopefully, in a month, I'm 229 now. I expect to lose about 3 pounds, but hopefully I'm under 225. Maybe 4.5 pounds. Hopefully I'm under 225 next time I'm talking to you. That'd be a nice goal. But if it's 226 or something, that's not bad. See you October 1st. May the force be with you.